All right, we're back, and I want to bring on my first guest here. She actually reached out to me through Facebook, and I'm going to let her tell you about that. Please welcome Pat McDougall.
Hey.
Pat.
How are you, Sam?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good.
Now tell me, how did you find me? There's a story behind that, right?
There is, because I love the Grinch.
Oh, okay.
And so I saw you as the Grinch, and then I started following you, and then I saw that you did this TV show, and that it was full of inspirational stories, and I have a very inspirational story, and I need to share it with the world. So.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You do. And so tell everybody what you've done, what you've been doing leading up to the job that you're currently in, just so they kind of get an idea.
Okay, so I was born in Columbus, and I worked for Aflac for many, many years, 18 years. And then I went to work for TSIS for a while. And you never know what path God has you on. And so I left there and went to work at the John B. Amos Cancer Center, right when they first broke.
Sorry, I know I probably hit my microphone there. I apologize, guys.
I know.
It has a special place in my heart.
Yes.
Literally,
yes.
They put a port in my chest.
There are very special people there. I went to work there 3 months after my father passed from cancer. Didn't expect that turn. So you never know where your life is going. And so I'm in IT. I've been in IT my whole life. And so I brought up that building with all the technology and stayed down there for 2 years, and then went to work into Columbus Regional, which at the time was Columbus Regional, now it's Piedmont. And I've been there 15 years. So I'm in IT at Piedmont for 15 years.
Fantastic. And you're right. When you were talking about John B. Amos, I went to hit my chest because really I'm so grateful for the good people over there, and I know that was definitely not something that you saw, helping out, over there. Mm-hmm. But I love all of the nurses, all of the doctors. Everybody is so giving, and they're just like a family. Mm-hmm. And even over at Piedmont, I've had nothing but good experiences. I mean, I spent a month on the 7th floor.
Wow.
And of course, you know what the 7th floor is. Mm-hmm. And everybody was just so wonderful to me. But you have a story. We want to make sure that we get to that.
Okay.
How about we take a break?
Yep.
We'll take a break,
good.
and we're going to get back to more with Pat here in just a moment.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun. We actually, well, I say we, me and the kids, we came up with this idea, and they said, basically, they wanted to shoot a skit, and I said, let's, write it out. They did. I shot and produced it, and there you have it. So they had a lot of fun. Well, let's come back to my guest here. Pat,
yes.
We want to get to the story here.
Okay.
Okay, so our audience members right now they're on the edge of their seats, and they want to know who you are, what's going on. Some of them already know who you are, but I want you to be able to tell them your story.
Okay, thank you, Sam. I appreciate you having me on the show.
You're welcome.
And my story is very interesting, one that I never anticipated having or being where I am today. And my story is very faith-based. And just like everyone else, I thought nothing, you don't think bad things are going to happen to you. And so on April 1st, 2018, I fell and broke my arm. And I broke it really bad, and it was horrible recovery. And I just thought it was the worst thing ever. But I did not know what God had on the other side of that. So when you think that something is really bad, you never know, it can turn out to be a great blessing. I went in to have surgery on my arm. I have pins and rods in my arm. And I went in to have surgery, and they wouldn't do the surgery. They told me they couldn't put me to sleep, that my blood work was messed up. And so I had a lot of tests over the next 6 weeks, and when the test came back, I found out I was in stage 5 kidney failure. Had no signs, and I just couldn't believe it, because typically to get to the point of kidney failure where I was, you have to have 20 years of comorbidities, and I had none of that. Had no signs. It was an autoimmune disease that had come back from years and years ago and ate up my kidneys. And that was very shocking.
This was something that came back, you said?
Yes, I had it years ago in my feet. Just a very small little nerve autoimmune thing in my feet, and it came back. Had no idea. I was very healthy, going to the gym 3 times a week, You know, it was a very big surprise.
Yeah, I'm sure that was, especially if you are taking care of yourself, you're thinking, you know, there shouldn't be anything wrong with you.
Right, right. Didn't smoke, no high blood pressure, no diabetes, none of the symptoms. And so that was very hard. And I was very, very sick by the time they found it out. Had a lot of toxins in my body because the kidneys were not flushing the toxins out. Little did I know that was the beginning of my journey. And so fast forward over the next 10 months, I had 9 life-threatening things happen to me. I was in Piedmont hospitals combined, including the John Beman Cancer Center, Northside Rehab, and Midtown and Northside, for a total of over 100 days within 10 months. You gain a lot of faith through that. The amount of support that I've had through my friends and my family, and especially, oh my gosh.
Very important.
Yeah, you know, everyone would keep asking me because I had some really bad things. I had blood clots, I had a bowel perforation, I had things that people just don't live through. And I always had a positive attitude.
Which is great. It's not easy.
You know, with your cancer.
Yeah, it's not easy. But
Yep.
I know exactly what kind of mindset that you were in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
But people
let you
didn't
continue.
understand why. They didn't understand why. And I kept praying that I would know what my purpose was, because God was waking me up from things that my own physicians that I had worked side by side with for years were telling me, oh, I don't know if you're going to make it. And, you know, I just knew I was. And some days it was hard, but everybody kept asking me, how are you doing this? And I said, it's not me, it's God. Because he kept waking me up every morning. And I said, as long as he's waking me up, I'm not giving up on him. And so I went through it all. He and I had some rough paths. But the point is that I'm trying to make to people, other than what I need out of it, is that God has a path for us. It may not be the path you choose. It may not be a fun path on some days, but he has a path. And I told my son, I have one son, and my daughter-in-law, and I told all my friends, I said, as long as I'm on his path, I'm good. Because I knew he would take care of me, regardless of what happened. And so my faith got me through. My faith and my family. The people at Piedmont were incredible. I mean, I had hundreds and hundreds of nurses, rehab therapists, you know, x-ray, doctors, like everybody that took care of me. And they did such a great job. The rehab center at Northside is amazing. I was there 3 times because I couldn't even get out of a chair. I was at home doing IV antibiotics. It was a long road, you know. And today, and for a long time now, I've been back at work full time.
Yeah, I was going to say, you look very, very healthy.
I went back to work full time. I go to dialysis. They finally put me on dialysis because I really did almost die that one time, one of many. But I went on full-time dialysis, so I go 3 times a week for 4 hours each time. And you know, there's a reason for me to be there, and I still work.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
I still work.
But and so right now.
Yep. So right now, for 1 year, I've been going to Piedmont in Atlanta to the transplant center. And I've been trying to qualify for a year, because you have to qualify to be a candidate for a donor. And I had to go through a lot of testing and stuff. And about a month ago, I got approved for a transplant, for a kidney transplant. My blood pressure is low because dialysis makes your blood pressure low. So they gave me the stipulation, because the typical weight for a kidney, and this is a deceased kidney in Georgia, is usually between 5 to 8 years. And my blood pressure is so low, that was too long. And so they gave me the go-ahead that I have to have a living donor, which is a lot better for you anyway, lasts longer, a lot less chance of rejection. And so I have to get it within 1 year, and that's a short time, and it has to be a living donor. And so I am reaching out every way that I can. I have a Facebook page. It's named Kidney for Pat. If you'll please go to Kidney for Pat and share the page, read the page. It gives you, we're going to show in a moment, the bottom of the screen, the telephone number that you call. They told us candidates that they don't want us having to worry about screening or anything like that, and so they want us just to push people to that phone number and to that website.
Okay.
And it's up at the Piedmont Atlanta Transplant Center, and they do all the screening. The initial screening is that you fill out a surgical questionnaire. They want to make sure that you're a good candidate and healthy,
Sure.
and that you don't have diabetes or some kidney related function. People also ask, do you have to be a perfect match? Because you used to have to be.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I'm not lying to you. When I was telling the kids this, and my stepson said, "Could I give her mine?" I was like,
"Oh, sweet."
I didn't know what to say. I was like, "That is so kind of you."
Oh my gosh.
You know, and there's probably somebody out there right now, though,
sweet,
that's watching, and they're hearing your story, and they're probably saying, "Can she have mine?" So if that's you out there, if you're watching this program via the internet, via cable, whatever it is, we want you to make sure that you go to Pat's Facebook page, and we want to make sure that you contact her, and we do have that contact information on there. So Pat, we're going to make sure we can do our part here at Light Talk through CTV Beam, and we're so thankful that you came on the show.
Thank you so much.
I know that we're going to have to cut
you.
here, but before we do, is there one last thing you'd like to say?
There is. I have a new grandson. He's 18 months old. And I didn't get to hold him until he's 6 months old because I had a bad lung infection. And so the reason that I want my new kidney is not for me. It is for my son, my daughter-in-law, my grandson, but mainly so that I'll have more time to tell people what God can do for you. You have to have 100% faith, all in.
Amen.
And He can do miracles. I'm a miracle.
Yes, you are. Thank you so much, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on here. And also, I just want to encourage you out there to make sure that you lift up Pat in prayer as well.
Amen.
And her family.
Yes.
So we're so thankful again that you came on to the show here at Light Talk. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut for a break here. We'll be back in just a moment.